All right, everybody, welcome back to Warm Up the Bus podcast. We've got a special guest with us today. I am Coach Charlie Downs. This is Coach Carrie Strong, and joining us for this episode is the one and only Coach Casey Schubert. Casey, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, so today's topic is going to be coaching multi-sport athletes. And when I mentioned this to you, you were like, yes, I want to talk about this on the show. So this is something that we're going to talk about today. But before we get to our topic, Coach Strong, you've got quote of the day.
Quote of the day, and I don't know who the quote is, but in economics, I've taught economics several different places. They always say there's no free lunch, right? So there's no free lunch, and I tell the kids this all the time, and I don't you quote it or whatever. I didn't make it up. I'd heard it somewhere, I'm sure. But what do you want? What does it cost? And are you willing to pay the price? And generally, kind of going into multi-sport athlete a little bit, generally it's a time deal. Right? So do I want to be great at this? Okay, well, I don't necessarily need to pay for lessons. And pay for lessons is great. That's what you want to do, right? But you got to have the time commitment. Mm-hmm. You got to put in the time. There's no secret recipe. You've got to put in the time. So no free lunch. What do you want? What does it cost? And are you willing to pay the price?
And I think that kind of goes to what we talked one time about the Bobby Knight quote of everybody wants to win a championship or be successful until it's time to do what it takes to win that championship. What do you think?
Yeah, I saw a quote this week that said, don't tell me that you have a goal if you didn't work for it yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so true. Kids talk about how I want this and I want that, but then they're not actually doing anything to go get it. So
we were talking a little bit before we started recording about, we've got some kids that are, hey, I just want to specialize in this, or I just want to specialize in this. And you look at it and you go, okay, well, you could probably be really good at that sport. We get that, but are you going to the driving range 3 days a week because you just want to play golf, or are you putting up 500 shots a week because I just want to play basketball? And so that kind of leads us into, let's talk about multi-sport athletes. And I think you've got two sides of the coin here. We are both coaching, all three of us really are at smaller schools. We're not in 5A, 6A schools. So it's imperative that we get as many of these athletes to contribute as much as we can in all of the sports.
Right.
So how hard is it, or how easy is it to coach multi-sport athletes?
Oh, well, I think some of that depends on your relationship with the other things that they're doing. And when we talk about multi-sport, maybe it's multi-activity, because maybe are they in the band?
Yeah, or archery.
Archery,
like that.
Yeah. They're just in so many different things. You've got to have a pretty good relationship, at least a communicative, if that's the right word.
That's a good word.
Relationship with the sponsors of those activities or the coaches of those activities. So, I want a kid to play volleyball and run cross country, but I need the volleyball coach and the cross country coach to be able to communicate that with each other to make sure that that's a doable deal.
Yeah.
I want at Harleton, I want the kids, whatever they want to do, that's what I want them to do.
Yeah.
And I want us as the adults to be able to figure that out.
What do you think? What's your 10 cents on that?
I feel like probably in a lot of my career, there were a couple times where I was the head volleyball coach and the head basketball coach. Yeah. So those multi-sport athletes were my kids for both sports. And so just like from a coaching standpoint, making sure that those volleyball kids that do play basketball are ready for basketball season when it starts.
Yeah.
Like the basketball coach has to take 2 weeks to get them in shape or any of that. Like when they leave volleyball, they're going to be ready for you.
Yeah, I think that's a challenge. Is we've had this conversation before, just sitting around the office, that we'll have these kids that are multi-sport athletes. And this will lead me down another rabbit hole real quick. They'll get into softball and they're so out of shape they can't run leg out of double because we don't have them prepared for that. So what do you do with those multi-sport athletes if they're starting the season and starting the year in cross country? They're going to do cross country, they're going to do volleyball, they're going to do basketball, and then they're going to come into softball and track. How do you, because you've got some that will say, okay, well, universal off-season, keep them in off-season all year. And then you've got some that say, okay, sport specific. So what's the balance? I agree with you 100% on the coaches have to be able to communicate and figure out what's best for that kid, and all those kids. How do we work together, and the facilities that we have and the time that's allotted, how do we work together to do that? But how do you prepare them for a year's worth of being a multi-sport athlete?
Well, for me, as like being in the coordinator spot, I've got to make sure that we have a plan as an athletic program to accomplish that. So when they're in cross country and volleyball, they're still having time to go to the weight room. They're still having time to, or maybe they need a conditioning portion of practice then we need to make sure that as a program, we're all on the same page. That, and I'm the worst one about conditioning. Like, we'll do all of our stuff in drills. We don't just line up and run.
Yeah.
But they may not be ready to lug out at double because I may not have done a very good job. But I think that I need to coordinate that to make sure that we say, okay, we can do this, and we're going to do this X number of days and this X number of days or whatever. The UIL has helped us out a little bit by allowing us off season to do sport specific during the period and be able to go to an hour of weight room after or before school or whatever it might be. Usually in the past that was not an option.
Yep.
You had to get all that stuff done in the athletic period. Now you got a little more time. So
what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we've done it. I've done it both ways, where you've had a universal off season. To me, that has a lot of benefits to it. One, you know that your kids are going to be in shape; they're going to be in the weight room all at the same time. But then it also builds that camaraderie between the kids, in that they know that, hey, this is a kid that just plays softball, and she's maybe not on my team, but we're out here doing this work together. Like it. And it creates it where they want to go and support the softball team, even if they don't play, because, hey, that was my partner in the weight room, or that was my running partner for the day. And now they're invested not just in their program, but in the girls' athletics as in a whole.
And
or as boys.
if you're watching or listening and you don't know what we mean by universal off season, what we mean by that is essentially, if you put it through a school day, during the athletic period, they are not going to sport specific. They are going to the weight room, agilities, some type of skill work or something like that they are doing during that period. And then they're going sport specific afterwards whenever we're finished with that, or after school, correct? Is that what y'all would say, universal
Well, and
off-season?
the other thing we run into is that some days we can't do that. So we could, but we'd have to figure out the logistics of it because of things like after school band practice, after school cheerleading practice, majorette practice, all the different they're going to an ag competition or whatever. And so it is a lot of logistics. But again, that kind of goes back to what is our identity, what is our plan, and let's make sure that all the adults are on the same page.
Well, I've had teams that have even asked me before, hey, Coach, can we start the workout of the running and the weights in the morning?
Yeah.
And they would show up at 5:30, 6 in the morning.
I just had a really good conversation at our regional golf tournament with, I think it was from Axtell. Yeah, and he was telling us that their football team they were 1-9, 2-8, just get killed for 3 seasons or so. They changed athletic directors, and he made a decision that we are working out at 6:30 in the morning. Everybody in the boys program was working out at 6:30 in the morning. When they hit the period, they were going to their sport-specific stuff. And he said at first, a very little, they were already 2-8, 1-9, so they got very little resistance from that. And then all of a sudden, the kids, he said, we would get there about 5:30 or so. He said after about 2 or 3 weeks, the kids really bought into it. They would start showing up at 6 o'clock. And then some would show up at 5:45. So they just made it mandatory that everybody 6 o'clock, they show up. And he said, we get 0 complaints from the community, because my first question was like parents. A lot of these kids are,
them up there.
a lot of them are dependent on their parents.
Ride the bus.
Exactly. So how do you get everybody up there? He said, nope. The whole community has really bought into it. Wow. And he said they went from 1-9, 2-8. All of a sudden now they are 8-2, 9-1. They probably should have won the state championship the year before, but their quarterback got injured in the semifinals or something like that. And he said it just really turned their whole program around. But it's hard when you've got facilities are very limited.
Right.
There's only certain places that your band can rehearse, your volleyball team can be, your cross countryers can run. I mean, it's hard at times. And that leads me to the next question that we talked about was, is it easier or is it less common to have the multi-sport athletes at bigger schools? At your 5A, 6A level, do you have more of multi-sport? And do you have, at what point do you look at a student or an athlete and say, I get it, you need to focus on these 2 sports or this one sport because I get it. Is it their freshman year, their sophomore year, their junior year? Do you say, okay, I'm not going to fight this. If you want to do 2 sports, go ahead and do that. We're not worried about you trying to be as involved as you can to try to help us in every sport.
Well, your bigger schools, I've been at Kilgore and Spring Hill, and I don't know that I'd necessarily classify them as big schools, but they're bigger than Harlingen. So you do get some of that. You look at some of the teams that have made it to, like, let's take an Allen, which is the biggest high school in the state, right? Yeah. So they make it to the state football playoffs, or state championship, state semifinals. I mean, they're pretty solid. The basketball team has been in the state championships, has won some state championships. They're pretty solid. What you get there is most of the time those kids are very sport specific, and they'll have maybe one super athlete on the football team that plays on the varsity basketball team.
Yeah.
All right, and then the JVs and the freshmen, maybe there's a few more, but for the most part, the ones that are on the basketball team are in basketball year round, and maybe they go run track during track season. But their thing that they focus on, or the thing that they spend most of their time commitment on, is basketball.
Yeah. And you just don't get that it's hard to do that at a 1A, 2A,
Well, if you
3A
got
level.
we've got a kid like right now that does 5, 6 sports, and it goes back to what we're talking about with time commitment. Like, how do they find time to work on basketball and track and softball?
There's not enough hours in a day for them to do all of that.
They've got to figure that out too. And like I said, I want them to do all the things. Like, I want them to, but it's also, you've got to figure out the time commitment related to that as well. And at what point in time are you doing all the things, sacrificing some of the talent of the one or two things, I guess is the question.
Is it to where they're going to have to make a commitment on their own to do these things?
Oh, absolutely.
Is it your job as the coach to find that time in the day, or if they want to participate in all of these, do they have to find time in the day? Because one thing the UIL does is it regulates how much practice time everybody gets. It makes it equal for everybody. That's the one thing that they're actually good at is, hey, everybody gets the same amount of time to practice. It's about what you do with that practice time and then what you do individually. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it all comes back to, we all have the same 24 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, you can find a way not to do it, or you can find
That's
a way
exactly
to
right.
do it. And if you look at any professional athlete, really, they were all multi-sport athletes. Many of them, probably not all of them, but I mean, you've got NFL quarterbacks that were also basketball players.
Right.
You've got, MLB pitchers that were also track runners. So I think there's something to being involved in everything so that you're competitive all year long.
Yeah.
If you're not in a sport, then you've got to be doing something else to get those competitive juices flowing. And
well, and you take a kid that's in a sport all year round, there's not really an off season for them. So that's where your universal off season or your weight room running specific stuff comes into play to make sure that they are able to get some of that extra stuff in.
Yeah, because I think sometimes, and this is going to be one more rabbit hole we're going to go down, does it build, is there say you have a kid, like you said, 5 sports, doing everything and never really gets to go to the weight room, never really has to do like the conditioning during the period for a true off season. Does it build a resentment when that kid comes in for basketball and everybody knows, hey, that kid's going to start, but they haven't been through weight room, they haven't been through all this other stuff that we've been, because they've been in cross country, they've been in volleyball, they've been doing all these, and hey, we've been working for 2 weeks. Softball. Yeah. You guys and your stupid basketball team went 3 rounds deep in basketball, and so we had to go through most of tournament season without 5 of our starters or 5 of our players, and then they come in and they step right in there. Well, sometimes it's going to build some resentment. How do you manage that as a coach with that multi-sport?
I mean, to me, you have to have that honest conversation with the kids that they're replacing.
Yeah.
Like, I get that you've been out here and you've been doing these things, but if they're better, they're better.
And that comes down that you got to have that conversation with mom and dad, and we'll have that.
Well,
that's another episode.
That's
another episode.
Well, I mean, we all want to win.
Yeah.
Right. And and at the end of the day, our job is to put the best product on the field or court that we can. And if you take a kid that's, I mean, and we've had this conversation before, you take an 8th grader that comes into the 9th grade and they're the best basketball player already.
That's right.
Should I put them on the freshman team? Should I put them on the JV?
Absolutely.
Or should they be the starter on the varsity? If they're the best player, I mean, I've had that. Josiah was like that. He was the best player on our team when he was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
And would have been as a 7th grader. So he comes in, he's day one starter.
Yeah.
And I think the kids,
they know that.
They know that in their
it.
heart of hearts. Now they may try to find a way to say, I think I should get this, or I should get that, or whatever. I'm a senior, or I've been starting for this, or I've been doing that. But at the end of the day, if you don't want to lose your spot, be good enough to where you don't lose your spot.
I tell my own kids this: either get mad or get better.
I mean,
that may be another episode that we
have 2 choices. You're going to get mad about it and quit, or you're going to get better.
That's right. Or you're going to get better and find a way to get better.
And I don't want to sound heartless or whatever, but
that's life.
I'm going to play.
Right? You're going to compete for jobs.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
when every job I've gotten, I've had to interview for.
That's right. They just, that's Carrie Strong.
I mean, it's not like
we all know that Carrie Strong can walk in and go, "Hey, I'm Carrie Strong."
Well, that's what the people on Smokey might think.
Smokey.com says Carrie Strong. All applications are denied.
I have interviewed, at multiple places, and I've gotten some, obviously, and I haven't gotten some.
Competitiveness within a team is fantastic.
Oh, I love
it. I encourage it. I think that teams get complacent when kids know there's nobody that's going to take my spot. Like when there's that 8th grader that's coming up and it's like, oh, you want to stay a starter? You better be better than her because here she comes or here he comes.
And we have a group, we have a group of a huge class that's coming up into high school. And we kind of look at it and go, this is going to create some competition, which we're excited about.
Yeah.
We get really excited about that. The kids maybe not.
Right.
And the parents maybe
Well,
not.
and the other part to that is that if I am one of those 8th graders that's coming into the ninth grade, what do I need to do
That's right.
to get better, to try to put me in, put the coach in the spot where they've got to make that decision?
That's right. And that's the there's the physical competition part of it, but then there's the mental competition as well. And we talked about mental toughness versus physical toughness.
Not even
which
close.
one we would like to have. And
4-1.
we both said mental toughness, 100%, because one's going to have one may be physically better than the other, but then you got the mentality of I'm going to do whatever it takes to get better than you.
Right.
I'm going to find a way to beat you and be a starter or get on varsity or whatever. And so I think one of our future episodes needs to be we win a lot of games versus my kid gets to play a lot.
Yeah.
Because I think we've all been down that road of we've said before, like, I think sometimes parents would rather see their kid play more and us lose every game than, hey, play the one that I think may be better than your kid versus and win more games. I mean, I think that sometimes that's
And kids may be the same way. I mean,
That's true.
I mean, some of these kids have been playing stuff since they're 3 or 4 years old, and they just want to play.
Yeah.
And so you got to make a decision as a community, as a school district, as a athletic program. Like, what is our priority?
Yeah.
Do we want all the kids to play? Yes, I know the answer is yes, but like how big of a deal is winning? Because if you've got to win to keep your job.
Yeah. That's right. I got to feed my family. My livelihood is based on us winning and losing.
And it's probably a struggle today in a lot of high school teams of this is the everybody gets a trophy generation. And so it does create conflict, and it does create that, well, what do you mean I don't get to play? I came to practice.
Yeah.
But you're not the best
You're
one.
not that great.
You're not very good.
And
You're here, but
not
showing
to
up is
backtrack.
the most minimal thing you can do.
Right.
That's exactly
Like,
right. That's
else are you
exactly
gonna
right.
But not to, I mean, what do you want?
Yeah.
Well, I want to start. Okay, well, what is that going to cost you?
Yeah. What have you done
Comes back
to
to
earn
quote.
the start?
Maybe you need to be at summer workouts or sport specific, or
Exactly.
you need to take lessons or
Full
whatever. I
circle,
don't know.
That goes to the competition part.
Yes.
That goes back to the creating that competition of, okay, what have you done? Well, this person's been here for 5 straight days and coming 4 days out of the 5 for summer workouts and busting their rear end.
So let me ask you this then.
Oh boy, rabbit holes.
So we're going back to the multi-sport deal. Does a kid that plays multiple sports and is competing year round, obviously it can, but does that benefit them over a kid that just does one sport?
That's tough. Depends on what that one kid does with their time. I feel like that one kid could be in one sport, but if they're not doing anything in the off season, they're coming in off season and not lifting weight. They're barely going through the motions, doing like you said. They're showing up.
Yeah.
They're doing the least amount possible. I don't think that's gaining them any advantage over the kid
you
who's
take a kid that wants to go straight golf.
Yeah.
And in the wintertime when it's rainy and cold and miserable and all that, what are they doing golf-wise to be the best golfer?
That's exactly right.
Well, and probably a big misconception would be that your golf kids, your cross country and track kids don't need the weight room. And then if you see any kid that has gone from high school to the collegiate level, and any of those are like, that's the first thing we did was we went to the weight room and we had an off-season program. Like we were in there. And I don't know if that's as much as on coaches of those sports or if it is the kids.
Yeah.
But like those sports need that conditioning and that weight room just as much as any other.
I can't tell how many times I've seen kids that graduated high school go off and play 1 year of college. They come back to look like a whole nother person. Like because they got in the weight room and they were sport specific and did those things, all of a sudden they're getting bigger, faster, stronger. And you're like, you're not a high school kid anymore.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference between that senior year and the freshman year.
Well,
of college.
I don't know a single kid that's gone to the next level and not, like you said, not been in the weight room and not had some sort of conditioning program.
And I think as coaches, that's our job, is to have them ready for that next level.
Yeah.
So that if they choose to walk away from it at that point, it's because they wanted to and not because they couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Not because they couldn't
They
handle
weren't
the
prepared.
workouts.
That's right, exactly right. They go
That's
in there and they
always
get
been
cut.
my goal is like, if you want to go to the next level, I will have you ready.
Yeah, same
Well,
thing
that's
with
like
education.
teacher. Yeah, that's
same thing
exactly
as
what I was going to
education.
say.
Yeah.
Same thing in the classroom.
Our kids ought to be able to go take the ACT and at least qualify to get into the college.
Yeah,
Right.
we shouldn't be finishing top 5 in our class and then
With a
we fail out in
14
the first
ACT.
semester
I had
because we're not
0.5
ready to do
GPA.
homework.
Now,
Yeah,
time out.
Homework,
Maybe they
what the
went to
heck?
eat at Big T's.
Big T's, that's
Maybe it was
right.
Taco
It's Big
Tuesday
T's.
Because I
night.
was
Now,
top 10%.
Yeah, he
and
was
I
top-
lost
okay.
a scholarship.
If you don't know the story of that one,
Go
back to
to
episode
that
episode
one.
one.
I saw
I
that
like
one.
me some
Episode
pancakes and
1, you'll learn about
burritos.
some
We were
Big
at Big
T's.
T's too much.
All right,
Way
so
too much.
well, I'm going to kind of close this one down because we need to get to our food challenge. I think I fasted long enough for the food challenge. So now this is going to be my challenge. This actually comes from or stems from one of our current players dared me to do this one on camera. So Belle, if you are watching, we are going to do the Vienna sausage Food challenge. Coach Strong says he is absolutely out on this one, so I'm going to let you take over. I'm going to bring out the Vienna sausages. Coach Schubert is not. I told her if she came on, she's got to participate. She said absolutely not. We're not doing that.
Yeah, deal breaker.
All right.
Yeah. So he's got, his paper plate here with his fork.
I've got to use manners.
He's gonna. I'm guessing he's learned a little bit from the quail leg challenge on the slipperiness of these items here. So he's gonna pre-open, and I'm guessing you're gonna put them on the plate and fork them.
I've changed my mind.
We're going straight from the can.
Okay.
This may just be from my overflow, whatever.
I got you. All
right, so I'm going to pre-open.
Are you gonna pre-open all of them?
I'm gonna.
How many is it?
Come on.
It is 7. It's an odd number.
I told you. Look, I'm a Vienna sausage specialist. All right,
I don't even know.
I'm not sure
I don't even know you could qualify that.
I don't think that's a
Get
flex.
you some of that.
We need the FDA to come on here and figure out,
These are
is that
totally legit.
actually,
I'm not sure meat should be
how
that
is that
color.
sausage?
Man, this is gonna be better.
That
than
is
quail eggs.
Salchina de Vienna.
Coach Strong seems to be the winner in these food challenges because he
doesn't have to do it.
He gets Pringles.
He gets Pringles.
Yeah.
I get
Oh,
Vienna
yeah.
sausage and
Pringles.
Pringles. All right. So I think I'm gonna try. I said 6, but I think I'm gonna try to get 4 in a minute.
Okay, so what happens if you get 4 in 45 seconds?
Well, if I pick this one up and we still got time left, you're gonna have to open
Okay.
one of these or something.
Okay.
So I'm gonna leave you one.
Okay.
So if we wind up,
All
you're
right.
gonna be able to stomach this while
Yeah.
I'm eating
Yeah.
these. I don't
Do
want
Do you want me to
throw in-
count while he times?
Now,
I can count them for you.
go ahead.
As he
Can we-
says, we'll count in post.
Yeah,
Okay,
can we-
okay, post video.
Can we get a sample stick there and
Okay, so
make
we're
sure it
gonna-
doesn't
we're gonna
crumble?
go in here.
Okay, good. So,
Just like
Nice.
that.
All right.
And I'll probably drink the liquid later. Just
oh
kidding.
my God, you're not serious.
Just kidding. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready when you're
I'm
ready.
just gonna say when.
All right.
On your mark, get set, go.
All right, and we're going. So he is not. Who you got? Two at a time right there.
That was nice.
He is not lying. He is housing these things. Okay, that was 9 seconds.
He's already opening the 5th can. He knows it's.
Well, I say that I may have to get Casey to do it because I don't have any fingernails. He lost one.
Slippery little fella.
Yep. See, I told you should have used the plate. All right, 1 down, 2 down.
There's 7 in each
All
can.
right.
I
Oh,
think.
you're halfway there. You better hurry.
We're at 14.
He slowed down, man. That first can was great. That second can, not so
Not as
much. He's of course, he probably had lunch about an hour ago. 2 hours. He's been
2
fasting
hours
for
ago.
2
Had a
hours.
snack.
15 seconds. 15 seconds.
Had to take a breath.
He did say he would go ahead and eat this 5th can,
So
even
this
if he
makes me
didn't
think.
get
I
to
used
it.
to do a brown bag challenge with my athletes at the end of the year, and we would have a relay where they just had
5.
to go eat whatever was in the brown bag. And believe it or not, Vienna sausages were in there.
Oh, that's not good.
Crackers.
Beep, 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 beep. All right, 3
That's 22.
And
1.
22.
So he got 22 in 60 seconds. So that is about one
New
every
world record.
2.75. We don't have Guinness. I think doesn't Guinness have to be present
We can
for
see
that
footage.
Oh, that is
We have
correct.
video evidence.
Here, finish these.
Oh,
up.
no, thank you.
Ooh, that was good.
I did not say I participated in the brown bag challenge.
Hey, what
I
are
brought the brown bag.
what are the sausages that look like that they sell for kids? You remember? Did your kids ever eat those? When my kids were real little, they would eat these Vienna
What are you
sausage
feeding your
looking things.
kids?
I don't know. I
I'll
don't
eat the
remember what
rest
it
of
was.
these as we go.
Later
See,
on.
I knew you had it in you.
Man, those are so good. I should have done barbecue.
Well, you
I couldn't find enough cans of
The
the barbecue.
the
They only have like
6-pack.
3 cans.
Well, that's
Those are
all
so
you
good.
needed.
I'm
There's
sure
all-
my
there's
wife will
three
eat some of
cans.
those.
She likes them too.
No,
Oh,
absolutely.
I was
Absolutely.
going
She's
to wait a
Absolutely.
second. That scared. I mean, not scared me. That shocked me a little bit.
All right, so 22 in a minute.
22 in a minute. That's pretty solid.
That's not bad. I mean, I don't feel like I'm going to throw up yet. It may hurt. I am sweating quite a bit. I'm sweating
Like in Kung
profusely.
Fu Panda, just later on.
It may be later. That's like
Maybe.
with the quail eggs, man. Those quail eggs. I sent you a text message later that night. I was like, something is brewing in my
Yeah.
stomach that is not good. So hopefully we don't too much
little
later.
extra songs at the prom, huh?
All right, so let's move on to another segment. Since we've got a guest here, this is the first time we've done this. That's Boys to Men playing on there. Look out. Where did I find
You
my
just had
photo?
it on
I
there.
just had it up there.
Was it not right there?
Look, it's right here.
Oh.
Okay. So we're going to do rapid fire. We're going to call this our full timeout. We're going to do rapid fire questions with Coach Schubert.
Ready.
We've got 15 questions.
Okay, you're going to do all 15?
Yep.
Because I'm saying we got to for sure do
Oh, we're doing
13.
We're not doing all
13.
15.
because of the topic today.
Okay,
we
for the topic today,
for
that's
sure
correct.
do 13.
Okay, so I'm going to try not to let you see which ones we're doing. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
So you put another minute on the clock.
We're
Let's see
gonna
how many.
Do
Or
we
you wanna
gonna
do-
time
Have
it?
to
No,
roll
just
them?
do it.
Let's
just
just
roll
do it. Okay, we're going to roll
That way we
with
can
it.
get them all of them.
All right, best coach you ever had.
Best coach I ever had?
We're going to need you to answer a little faster than this
Yeah.
kid.
Coach Penny Fleet. She was my junior high coach at Hallsville.
Okay, what sport is the hardest to coach?
Basketball.
Ooh. Most important quality in a player.
Mental toughness.
Biggest mistake young coaches make.
Separating coach from friend.
That's a good one.
That's a good one right there. Favorite practice drill of yours?
Well, I've coached every sport, so it's hard to pick just one.
Running.
I love a good 11-man break in basketball.
Okay.
UCLA drill.
Best team you ever coached?
I had a Bowie team several years ago
Ooh.
that we were 4 points away from the
I
regional
remember
tournament.
them. Yep, very good team.
Yep.
Funniest locker room moment?
Probably something you had kind of mentioned on one of the episodes was that dead silent and then someone has a little sneaky cheeky.
Sneaky cheeky. I like it.
Cheeky.
All right, toughest loss you've ever experienced?
That same team,
Bowie team?
when we lost going to the regional
Yeah.
tournament. And it was on a left-handed layup. I had a freshman that she had a wide open layup, tried it with her left hand and missed it. And I said, why did you shoot it with your left hand? I thought you were going to get mad at me if I shot it with my right hand. I want to go to the regional tournament. Just make the shot.
Just make the
Just
shot.
Make the shot.
Favorite post-game meal after a win?
After a win, I'm normally pretty ready to get back to the house, so we try to pick it up and go. But pizza. There's DeLauders in Mod. Does a great job of providing pizza.
Having them ready for you?
Having them ready, pick them up and go.
Best bus ride memory?
At Ore City, our bus was having some issues, and my assistant coach, Rick Wilson, was on there, and like gauges are flashing, lights are going off, and I'm like, Coach Wilson, what is happening? And he looked at all of that, and he said, I am not that guy.
Not that guy.
He had no idea.
Just
He
sits
was
back down.
He said, call the bus barn. I don't know.
Pull over and call transportation.
All right, I think I know the answer to this one. Man defense or zone defense?
Man, all day.
Man all day. Offense or defense wins championships?
Defense.
Okay, not left-handed layups, obviously.
Not left-handed layups.
All right, number 13. This one goes in today. Conditioning or skill work, which matters more?
Conditioning.
Okay.
We will not be the first team to get tired. That is like my...
Y'all were fourth quarter ballers, if I remember,
Absolutely.
at the Bowie, right?
Absolutely.
4 QB or something like that.
If I had to
FQB?
hang my hat on anything, that's what it would be. We
Yep.
will not be
I
the
remember
first team
those
to
girls.
get tired.
Favorite sports movie?
Pistol Pete, The
Oh.
Birth of a Legend.
All right, last one. If you were not coaching, what would you be doing right now? You can't say grandmothering.
Can I say just a teacher? No.
That's
if
dumb.
I wasn't coaching...
Not on this podcast.
Listen, we actually talked about this the other day. I considered it meteorology. I am a storm chaser.
Wait a minute.
pay
You only have to be
attention.
right 50% of the time.
Exactly.
Not even that.
Exactly.
Because
Partly
nobody
cloudy
knows.
today, folks. High near 120. It might rain.
It might rain,
not.
it might
so
not.
get your
Who
sunglasses
knows?
and your umbrella and head out the door.
Yep. Nope. I
I
had
mean,
a
you
college
can-
professor that was like, have you thought about meteorology? And I was like, no, I have not. But
You're a really good baseball player. You bat 300. You're a really good
go in the Hall of
meteorologist.
Fame.
You're
Come on.
50, You're Hall of Fame at 300. That's
Hall of
right.
Fame.
I'm telling you.
All right.
I'm actually
so
scared to death of storms, so I don't know. how
and you're a
that
storm
would
chaser.
work.
She was
I
just
wanted to be a
chasing
storm chaser.
like a little
Water.
dog that runs after you and barks until
Yeah.
you turn around.
Yeah, and it looks
Oh,
like,
never
I'm
mind.
going. I'm out of
out.
here. All right, so that's our rapid fire. Anytime we have a guest on, we didn't get him with Minner. We kind of
No,
missed our
he was too
opportunity there.
busy.
Yeah, he was trying to get out of there and go do some
Get-
fishing or pole vaulting or something like that.
yeah.
So thanks for
raising
doing
more
that with us.
quails.
So let's go to our 2-minute drill. All right, so this is our shout out to local businesses. So
Okay.
we're going to let you think about yours for just a second. I'm going to let Coach Strong start. We'll just work our way across the table
Okay.
with our shout out. So you get to go
Oh,
first
man.
here.
So mine is going to be the butcher shop in Longview,
Classic.
Texas. I've eaten there forever. I mean, they've been there forever. Off of McCann. They got burgers. I love their burgers. Chicken fried steak. I mean, they whatever. But their best thing they have there is the tiramisu cupcakes. I'm a big coffee guy. I love coffee.
Yeah, if you've never been to Butcher Shop, they have a bakery on one side.
Yeah, you walk
and then
in
the
and
Butcher
you
Shop
see
on the other.
you see the glass case with all of the different baked treats.
Yeah.
And my favorite is, like I said, the tiramisu cupcakes are pretty solid. So
And a lot of people will go there just for the bakery.
oh yeah.
And if you don't, did you say, you may have said this, I just wasn't paying attention. I was ignoring you. On Thursdays, they do half price.
They do,
Like,
yeah.
you buy
College
your
night
burger,
or something.
You buy your burger and the
get
fries and the
are
drink are free.
Yeah, something like
So
that.
we always took the kid on Thursday nights. My mom wanted to take us out to eat one night a week.
I remember when I was in high school, kind of, Coach Prince post game. Coach Prince was our tennis coach, and we used to always go to a tennis tournament wherever. Can we go to Butcher Shop? Can we go to Butcher Shop? Can we go to Butcher Shop? and he would take us there, and every once in a while, not all the time, but every once in a while, we'd get the hamburgers, and they've got the little condiment bar that you can get beans and chili or whatever, and just wear that out.
Any topping that you want.
Yeah,
man,
that's what
we
my
were a
wife
family
likes
of
to eat.
6, and so that was Thursday nights. That was bargain for a large
Rodney and
family.
Sue were taking. We knew all the places when our kids were little. I have 3, and so when we lived in Texarkana and we moved here, we knew where to take our kids on what nights of the week.
Some of those places have the kid free Tuesdays.
We knew every night if we were going out to eat. We knew, hey, it's Tuesday night, we're going here. Thursday night, we're going to butcher shop. We knew those. Okay, so mine is going to be another little local small place that I've only been to a couple of times, and it's Fugler's.
Oh, yeah.
In Harleton, Fugler's Burgers in Harleton, I guess between Harleton and Marshall.
Right off 154.
They've been in magazines. They've been on TV.
George Foreman said it was his favorite burger.
I'm telling you, and if you drive by it and you blink, you'd miss it. You would never guess that that what's inside that shop is what's going to.
The outside doesn't match what you.
It does not. It absolutely does not. But I remember when I first. I taught at Harleton exactly 10 years ago, and the first thing they want to do is take me to Fugler's.
Yep.
And I walked in there and I said, hey, I'd like, give me a double cheeseburger with bacon and tater tots. And she looked at me and laughed. And I mean, I'm a big guy. I'm not small. And she's like, are you sure? And they're all like, Coach, you can't eat that. And I was like, whatever, challenge accepted. I just ate 21 Vienna sausages. Why not? And so the burger was just humongous. I mean, you talk about getting bang for your buck. That place, and it was so delicious, man. Just absolutely wonderful burgers. Tater tots were good. Everything's good. So my shout out goes to Fugler's is it Harleton or Marshall? What are they in Harleton? Yep. Okay, it's like right in between. So it's right there on 155 between 154. Sorry, between Harleton and Marshall. So if you get a chance, you need to check out Fugler's. All right. So our last segment that we do again, before I get to this, we'll put up all the contact information for all 3 of these shout outs. We'll put it up on our screen if they've got Facebook, if they got email or anything like that. How you can reach out to them if you're in their area and get in touch with them. Go by, visit them, let them know that we sent them by. If you would like to be in our shout out, comment on our YouTube. That's a big thing for us. We would love to get comments on YouTube about
talking to you,
challenge.
Nanny Goats.
Yeah, Nanny Goats. We reached out. We're waiting for you to let us know when we can come. We would love to film in Nanny Goats. We'd love to do an episode there and get is it the muffins?
Orange muffins.
Yeah, the orange muffins. We'd love to do that challenge. So shout out to them again, but we'd love to hear from them. If there's somewhere that you would like to get a shout out to, comment that on our YouTube. If there's a topic that you would like for us to cover, give us a comment on YouTube. We'd love to interact with you and get something going there. So let's finish up with the last thing we do every episode is our words of wisdom to younger coaches. So I'm going to let you 2 go first because I really haven't thought about mine much on this episode. I'm still kind of reeling from the Vienna sausages. But Coach Strong, let's let you start off.
Okay.
Let's give your words of wisdom to our younger coaches.
Mine would just be where you are, be where your feet are. I think a lot of times, and a lot of the things that I comment on are things that relate to me when I was younger. I was always looking for the next thing or how I could, when I was a junior high coach, I wanted to be a high school coach. When I was a high school coach, I wanted to be a head coach. When I was a head coach, I wanted to be this. And so you kind of get lost sometimes on where you're wanting to be versus where you are. And sometimes if you're where you want to be, you can't get there if you don't do well with where you are, if that makes any sense at all. So just be where you are, do the best job you can where you are, and those other things, those opportunities, if you do the work, those opportunities will come.
Yeah. All right, what do you got, Coach?
I'm just going to kind of feed off of that. I definitely feel like at this point in my career that we're going to be coaching coaches as much as we are kids, especially the younger ones. Don't wait for somebody to have to tell you to do something. Like if you see a need, do
you missed the last episode.
I did. I wasn't in here for that. But then also just like be organized. Like pay attention to those coaches that seem to be organized and have practice plans and then just for my own, if I was talking to my own self as a younger coach, really work on those relationships. My first probably 5 years, it was all business. I mean, I
can attest to that. Yes, it was.
I would punish kids for having to go to study hall, and it's like you're not building a relationship with a kid having to do that. So remember why, like, you fell in love with the sports and why you're there, and remember that even though it may be 5 years for you or 10 years for you, that's that kid's first time.
Yeah,
like that they've only got 4 years to be in that sport. Like enjoy the moments with them. And it's okay for them to it's okay to let them see you be human.
Yeah.
Like to get excited when good things happen and to laugh if somebody accidentally toots in the locker room. Like it's okay.
Shut
it's
up.
Okay.
Nobody says a word. Nobody reacts to that. I'll kind of build off of that a little bit. Mine is going to be don't sweat the small stuff and kind of pick your battles because I want to say it was you and I had a conversation earlier in the year about we were talking about handbook. Do I need a handbook for golf or whatever? And you told me at that time, you're like, hey, man, whatever you want to do, I don't care, but don't back yourself in a corner. And I think we as coaches, like you're talking about being so hardcore early on, is like, man, I'm going to nitpick everything. If you do anything wrong,
it's,
what happens is you back yourself in a corner that you're going to have to make concessions at some point.
Well, and everything's gray.
Yeah,
you try to put everything black and white, and you can't think of every scenario that might come up.
No possible
you
way.
cannot, and you're trying to in your handbook, and it becomes 48 pages long, and there's a rule for everything
until they need to use it against you.
Exactly, and that leads me to one other little part of this is fair is not equal. Equal is not fair, because I will treat everybody fairly. Guarantee you that. I tell parents that. I'll tell parents that I'm going to treat your kiddo like they're mine. And I'm going to treat them fairly. That doesn't mean I treat them the same as I do Coach Schubert or Coach Strong. I don't treat you guys the same because you're not the same person. And so I think it's hard sometimes as a coach to see that I've been guilty of it, where the handbook just kind of backs you in a corner. You start having all these rules and things that you have to follow, and this isn't an absence, this is excused, this is unexcused. And those things are important to have structure and discipline in your program. But I think sometimes we as younger coaches can go over the top with that. Absolutely. And it keeps us from building those relationships because they just see you as this machine that they can't let their hair down every once in a while.
They can't talk
exactly.
To,
and I want to be able to just, put my arm around somebody and go, hey, I'll give you a great example. And it's because I've only been there for a little bit of time, but some of these girls I have a good enough rapport with right now. One of them came up to me. She's like, Coach Downs, I need you to give me one of those serious, like, I need you to be tough on me right now. Like, what's going on? And I told her, I said, you want the real talk, or you want? So I put my arm around her and I kind of I made it where nobody else could hear it. I said, stop sucking right now. I said, you're really not good right now. But I followed it with, you're second guessing yourself on everything you're doing right now. Your first step, you're second guessing it.
Trust the
then
process.
exactly. You're just, go all out, do it. I'd rather you dive and miss it than hesitate and let it get by you or something like that. But to be able to do that, you have to have a little bit of rapport with those kids and their family to know that he's human or she's human, and they're not just going to be down your throat all the time and have a good time with them. I think that's hard for younger coaches to do.
I used to tell kids all the time, one of the hardest things a teacher can say is, I don't know, because you're supposed to be the expert in your classroom. But I think it is genuine when a kid asks you a question. If you don't know, you're like, man, I really don't know.
Yeah.
And then they kind of feed off that relationship. Okay, well, this might be a person I can trust, because they're not used to somebody telling them they don't know.
Because kids can see through crap. They can. They can see through the bull crap. If you're sitting there trying to talk in circles, trying to figure it out, and like, I don't think he knows what he's talking about.
Yep.
I saw a quote this week that said, average teams have rules, great teams have standards.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking about from a handbook standpoint, like that's...
Well, and when your players hold each other to the standard as opposed to the coach holding everybody to the standard.
And that needs to be, and I think that needs to be an episode that we have, is rules versus standards. How do you build a culture?
Yeah.
What type of culture are you building? One full of rules or one full of standards? And how do you get where you want to be?
Yeah, one of the best things I can hear a kid say is, that's not what we do.
Oh, that's I love it.
Because that now they're holding each other accountable, and they're like, that's not the way we do things.
Don't let the circumstances dictate how you practice or how you play. Just play to our standard.
Don't let
play
the pressure affect how you play.
All right, so let's wrap up the episode. Coach Schubert, the one and only Coach Schubert. She made sure we had to announce that she is the one and only.
I didn't say the one and only. I just said
the Coach Schubert, Miss Casey Schubert. Thank you for joining us today.
You know my other half very well.
Yes.
And you're going to hear him before you see him.
He will probably be on here eventually, but we wanted to make sure we got you on here first just to make him mad.
Technically, I was coaching first,
So you are the original, the OG.
Well, we've got to make sure when David comes on that we've got a couple of hours to spend.
That's okay. Yeah, we'll do it in cooler weather or get some air conditioning here in the shop, whatever. But thank you for joining us today. That's going to wrap up this episode of Warm Up the Bus. We'll see you again next time.